Ladies and gentlemen, there has never been a better time to be alive where you could watch stupid people do stupid things for your pure entertainment, and they do it willingly. And that's what we're going to talk about today. A hilarious story that if you've been following me on Twitter, you may have seen me tweet about this. I can barely contain my laughter about this. A guy basically discovered a glitch in Robinhood, which is a trading app brokerage that allowed him to effectively get infinite leverage, meaning infinitely borrow money to make bets, literally. And he discovered this, he posted on Reddit about it, and now people are just doing this to a absurd degree, literally borrowing millions of dollars to make stock bets. And apparently Robinhood has not done anything about this yet, so this is hysterical. And the guy even recorded himself doing a reaction of like losing $50,000. So I'll show you that in a minute. Before we get started, you guys may realize if you've been subscribed to this channel in a while, this is the first video I've made in a while on this channel. I'm kind of reviving it, and I'm going to be using this channel as more of like relatively regular news stories. So not stuff that is worth making a whole video about on my main channel. I'm just going to do quicker videos where I just kind of talk about the news, anything that's funny, and I'll put on this channel kind of like one take. So I'm probably not going to edit these as much unless I seriously screw something up. So if you guys want to support this channel, literally all you have to do is comment, like, and especially share, because with this channel being inactive for a while, then, you know, you kind of have to wake up the algorithm, I believe. And so that'll kind of tell YouTube that, hey, this channel's back, recommend it to people. Anyway, let's get into this story. So this story starts on the Wall Street Bets subreddit, which is exactly what it sounds like. People just kind of YOLO betting on stocks, basically making completely stupid decisions to start with. And some people just take it to an absurd degree. And the story today has to do with a Redditor who goes by the name Control the Narrative, okay? And he basically started a meme. We'll get to that. But basically, as some context, this guy is an absolute brain-dead moron, okay? I'm not even going to, like, glorify what he did because he's an absolute idiot. So you can look through some of his posts. He has some hilarious thoughts, including what are some good corporations to invest in that don't have women? Yes, he's one of those people. He also is a self-proclaimed democratic sex socialist. Okay, wait till you see what this guy looks like, by the way. So he posted, socialists, how does my investment portfolio make you feel? So yes, he was literally taking investment advice based on socialism. He's getting investment advice in a capitalism versus socialism subreddit. I mean, I don't even know what this guy's even thinking. And apparently a couple days ago, before this whole debacle that really took off, he already lost a bunch of money with Microsoft bets, puts. I'm going to explain options in a minute, but here he posts how he was actually up like $10,000, and then he like lost a bunch of money here. So this was him down $2,000, and I don't think he only put in like a $4,000. So at this point he's at like $2,000. So then he posts this 5 days ago, which I guess was Thursday. So he goes, I recorded today's market open and the instant delta to my portfolio. Delta is like a change in price effectively. And, you know, let's just watch, and I'll try to provide you some context. This is the guy, and this is him after he went all in on Apple, okay? He went all in buying Apple put contracts, which basically was betting that Apple was going to go down after earnings, and he went all in with $50,000. He only put in $2,000, so he's using this glitch to get like 25 times the amount of buying power than he can actually afford. So if he's wrong, he's going to go from having $2,000 to, well, you'll see. So this is him, and he's just sitting there. And here you have 358 contracts. Each one controls 100 shares of Apple. These contracts right now are worth $57,000, and the total return, he's actually up on his investment. So they're about to announce earnings, and just wait till you see his reaction. That is the sound, people. Gah. When you realize that you instantly have a total return of negative $36,000 in a matter of maybe 10 seconds. Let's listen to that again. I want you guys to hear this sound. And if you've ever thought about like making all-in bets on something, this is what happens. This is the sound you will make when you are wrong. And just look at his face. So this "guh" sound has basically become a meme on the Wall Street Bets subreddit, and you can see as it goes on, the price fluctuates. At one point, he's down like $40,000, and then he's looking through, and you can see he flips through, and the chart is just hilarious. Look at this. This is where he's looking at his profit loss, negative $40,000, and this is not money he had. Let me make this clear. He is in debt $40,000 to Robinhood right now. He didn't just lose all his money. He lost 25 times more money than he put in. But it's not over. Okay? It's not over. Because people saw that he was able to do this, and they're like, "You know what? That's a great idea. He lost $40,000. Well, I'm not going to lose $40,000. So then we have people, let me open up this other window, where this guy did it. So this Control the Narrative guy did it $50,000. But the glitch allows you to basically go infinite, and I'll explain it in a second. This guy took it to another level, $1 million position after putting in only $4,000. $1 million, guys. This is a problem not just for these people, but Robinhood itself. I mean, when I explain how they did this, you might not understand the whole intricacies of how options work, but this is a big screw up on Robinhood's part. This should not be possible. So let me try to explain I'll give you a crash course in options first. So basically, options contracts are a contract that allows you to buy or sell, but not the obligation. It gives you the right, but not the obligation to sell a stock at a certain price at a certain time. So if you buy a call option, it basically, I'll give you the super simplified version. If you buy a call option, then you want the price to go up above the strike price. And if you buy a put option, you want it to go below the strike price, and you basically make money if it does either of those things, depending on the contract you get. Now, you can also do the flip side. You can sell the contract, and you can have what are called covered calls. So if you own 100 shares of stock, you can get one contract and sell that. So and that's basically saying, I don't think the price is going to go above, and you basically get paid a certain amount to take that risk. But if you're wrong and the price does go above the strike price of the call contract you sold, basically they just take away the shares, but you don't lose any extra money. However, what happened here was he basically borrowed the shares first from Robinhood using the margin they gave him, the leverage they give you like 2 times, and then he sold covered calls on that, which you can do, and you get premium on it, which means you basically get paid to do it again. But then Robinhood, after basically double borrowing, they increased his amount that he could borrow after that. For those of you who understand options, you might understand this already, but if you don't, let me put it in even oversimplified terms. Imagine you get a loan from the bank. Okay, you get a $1,000 loan from the bank, and you already have $1,000. So now you have $2,000. And then you go out and buy a gold bar, okay, for that $2,000, and you go back to the bank and you say, "Hey, look, you gave me $2,000, and now I have this 2,000 gold bar, so you should give me even more money." Now the bank goes, yeah, that makes sense. Well, we gave you $2,000, and you have this $2,000 gold bar. You know what? Yeah, so now we'll just give you an extra $4,000. We'll double it again. it doesn't make sense. Exactly. That's the point. It's like, no, you spent that money and converted it to something else, but now they're gonna treat that as you having both and then give you another loan on that. Is effectively what's happening here. That's an oversimplification. It's not an exact analogy, but basically you can keep doing this to get infinite amount of money. And this is against the law, by the way, for the broker. I'll get to that in a second. Again, I don't think it's even against the law of the person, but doing it. But you can effectively, what this person did, they bought, look, 120,000 shares of Ford, $1 million. And I need to really point out, this is not free money, okay? The way he's doing it, he's selling deep in the money calls that are like guaranteed to give you a really high premium, but they're going to expire in the money. So it kind of cancels each other out. So he's not like he's getting this money to keep. Like, he's not going to make a gain on this. It's like funny money, but the losses you incur while using it are real. So yeah, you're basically controlling $1 million, but if you lose half of that, you're actually in $500,000 of debt. So people keep doing this. Again, $300,000 of buying power based on, I don't even know how much this guy put in, nowhere close to that. And look, this guy's already down $5,000. So here's this guy's account, the guy who did $1 million. So it says up $900,000. He's not up $900,000. That's not the case. You can see here, look, he's down $22,000 already. He's controlling $1 million. Obviously, not a big fluctuation is going to make it go down a lot. So like a 1%, that's what, $10,000? That's not right. No, I think it is. So yeah, this is like 2% down, and he's down $22,000. That's actual money. He only put in $4,000. He's $8,000 in debt, if I did that right. So these people are basically cheating Robinhood, but actually putting themselves into real debt. So Robinhood does not patch this, and people are just taking this to a ridiculous degree. It's actually hilarious. Look, they're talking about strategies, what they can do with this. Can we, as a subreddit, force Robinhood to buy enough shares of a company that they own the company? He's basically saying, can we use this glitch to hostile takeover a company? And it's just, I don't even know what to say. So, and then someone emailed Robinhood support to see about this. And so he said, is it okay if I sell call contracts to increase my leverage? And then whoever is on the other side of the support ticket they have no idea what they're talking about. He's like, you can sell contracts to increase leverage, but keep in mind the contracts through Robinhood will require collateral. So he doesn't even know what he's talking about. So I don't think he comprehends what's going on. Keep in mind, this happened nearly a week ago, and Robinhood has not patched this. There are literally people getting millions of dollars of leverage that they cannot afford. The legal limit is usually like 2 times. They're getting 25 times the amount of buying power and just blowing it up and putting themselves into debt. I don't even know how they're going to handle this. They're going to actually have to pay this back. They're in debt to the broker, and they're going to be sent to collections on this. And let me bring back this. So this is a electronic code of federal regulations. This is a federal regulations from ecfr.gov. So this is a government website, guys. And at some point, it literally describes the exact process that this guy is doing, basically saying this is not legal. So exactly, deep in the money, put options and call options as extensions of credit is exactly what this guy was doing. So those of you who do understand options, he made a post where he explained how he did it, and I can explain how he did it myself, but so here he goes. No, this is the wrong one. Well, anyway, I can explain it. So basically, he used his margin to buy 100 shares, I think, of AMD, and then he sold deep in the money calls at like $2, which obviously are going to give you a lot of premium, and then increase, and then that's supposed to be the end of it, right? It's like, okay, you bought it on margin, you sold the calls on that, you're going to lose money doing that, but the fact that Robinhood then extended his margin based on now owning the premium from the call he sold and the shares that he borrowed, they're basically doubling up his margin for no reason. So I don't know what's going to happen here. We already talked about this Bloomberg article where they kind of go through this. Dubbed the infinite money cheat code by Reddit's Wall Street Bets forum, the bug has been exploited according to users. One user bragged about having a $1 million position on the $4,000 deposit, which we already showed. And then this is the explanation he gave. With Robinhood Gold, you can use you can use margin, blah blah blah. That's basically borrowing money. So again, he sold, and then he basically kept using the extra margin to keep buying shares, keep selling covered calls against it. And if you don't understand what that means, just remember my analogy about going to the bank, buying a bar of gold with it. It's not the perfect analogy, but yeah. So he turned $2,000, and then of course, this is just become a complete meme. Someone made like a music video. Someone made a parody. Take my loan to the Robinhood. So this is like Old Town Road, and then it's based on this song. And then they're making fun of Robinhood, of course, because this is the dumbest thing ever. This should not be possible for a real brokerage. They're like, I believe they're breaking the law with this based on what I've read from that government website. I'm not 100% sure about that. And by the way, even though you're technically, even though possibly Robinhood is breaking the law, you're still going to be on the hook with this, because I believe Robinhood has binding arbitration, which means you can't take them to court. You have to go to like arbitration to handle it. And most brokers have like ironclad agreements where even if it's their fault, even if they screw something up, you still owe the money. So there's no getting out of this, okay? And then, look, one of you guys told my roommate, and now he's talking about using this infinite leverage. I mean, I don't know if there's much more to say about this, but if you guys want to follow the story, do not do this. Again, this is the worst possible thing you could ever do. It's literally risking not only the money you have, all of it, but like hundreds of times that. So, yeah, I guess there's not much more to say about this. I'll probably keep tweeting about it if more stuff happens. But this has just been the funniest thing. Look, $95,000 loss on SPY puts. That's a S&P. So, oh, and the funniest part is that right after the guy sold the puts, the control the narrative guy, Apple had a ridiculous earnings announcement, and it spiked straight up. So he not only lost, he lost hard, and that's why it was such a bad thing. So, yeah. I guess that's all I wanted to say about today. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know what you think. Maybe it was a little bit long-winded, but I just thought this was hysterical. And I don't know if all the rest of the videos I make on this channel will be so funny, more just stuff that I think is worth talking about. It's not going to be like an everyday thing. Maybe like once a week I'll start out just talking about the most relevant news stories. And every time there's like a hilarious thing like this, I'll make a video about it. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. And I guess I'll see you in the next video.